Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to do an unboxing for the Team Corelli Kagama, which we got here in front of us. Going to do the red one, I think, for the unboxing. I think it looks best with the accents and all that they put on there. But I kind of waited to do this. I just wanted to do it on camera, kind of go over it, because I do own the XTR. I did have the original V1. So, I've seen both trucks prior to this one, and I'm kind of eager to see this and kind of see where it falls in line versus building your own XTR, or buying the stock Kronos or something along that line. But yeah, I'm gonna waste no time and get this thing out the box. We're gonna take a look at it, and like I said, we'll bring out the other two trucks and go over some comparisons, and maybe even the value comparison between buying the stock one or the XTR, and where this fits in the middle of. So be right back. We'll get this thing out. Alright, so here it is. We'll go ahead and get the body off of it real quick. I want to make sure I do that on camera because I haven't really got a chance to really see it up close for the first time, and I like to kind of get my first impressions on it since I've had both trucks. I like that. It's kind of like, where's it at? I didn't know it at the time, but this has got almost like a matte finish throughout some of this, which I did my old Creighton body back in the day with that same matte finish, which is just a clear coat spray over top of it, but it toned down that glossiness of it and really gave it a different look. At least, to me. But it's kind of what this reminds me of, and I'll probably wind up doing the same with this, where I took off some of the extra logos, and I'll probably leave this on here, and I don't know. But yeah, it's the look I like, so this one works out. Alright, let's see if we can get you in here close. Get a nice shot here. Alright. So the body definitely is got a stiff feel to it, which is good, but I put Gorilla Tape on all my bodies anyway, so I'll take all this off, but I'll take those 4 screws off. I'll put my tape down, and I'll put the Gorilla Tape back on that, just to make sure if one of these gets ripped that it doesn't pull out of my body. But yeah, that's just what I do with all my bodies, and they seem to hold up pretty well. But I'm really loving that matte finish, even though it's got the gloss around it. Something you can't really pick up on camera that it's doing, or at least not on the internet, but I'm sure you can see it with the reflections I have here. Alright, so here we go. What is this thing? This wasn't on there either. I didn't see. I mean, I guess it's a pad, I guess, so it's not, you're hitting so hard and it's right up against the body. This probably sits right up against the body, actually. Oh yeah, it's right there. So that's good. That keeps, even with the Creighton and my other car, the Punisher, which is the XTR, this is right up against it, so there is some room there to kind of push down up against that. So that's a nice little touch there. Here's this new brace. So that brace is looking pretty stout. They changed up the way it attaches here. It actually looks like it attaches more to the towers now, in the front and rear. Same motor, same combo, same electronics, same steering receiver box. This does have the Swiss diff cups, which, on my Creighton already, they started wearing down. On my original Kronos, they were wearing down a little bit. Ever since I've had the XTR, haven't really had that many issues. Although I haven't really had the XTR out as much as I would like to have yet. Just some speed runs and things like that. But regardless, I know they're going to hold up better. I'm not sure what the purpose of this piece here is. It's like a flap, but we'll see. This is a 6061 chassis, I do believe. I don't think it's the 775, but it is, I believe, a little thicker, and it's got some contours throughout it, I think, that make it a little lightweight. Some areas where the motor sits, and other pieces, I guess, to cut a little bit more of the weight. But I don't know. Like I said, I guess they saved money on the 775. I get it. You know, you did a lot of upgrades to this for not much money, so, you know, I'm not going to fault them for any of that. This does have the upgraded servo saver on it, which is a plus. And I'll go over that in a little bit because we are going to do a quick comparison to this, the XTR, and then a stock one, kind of value across the board. All right, so I'm noticing these right out the gate. The arms here are definitely reinforced. They got the inserts in them already, whereas some of the other ones had the options for inserts. I don't think they did on the upper arm, but I know they did for the lower arms. And then, you know, they still have the options here for these. The lower arm looks very similar. We'll check that when we get to side by side, but the inserts, obviously, they're definitely a beefier arm, and the end points, I guess, have to be a little smaller for the bigger, fatter plates that they put on them. So I'm sure that they would mount up, but you would probably need almost all of it. The front hinge pin here is no longer a flat piece of 6061, which was, when I see people bring these back in damaged, if they hit the arm or something, that piece is like automatically gone. The XTR comes with a thinner plate as well, with a 775 piece though. And then of course you got the upgrade, which is just like this as an insert style, but it's made out of 775. So this is at least an upgrade at 661, giving you the 775 thickness and the insert, plastic insert option. So that's a plus for me right there as well. I'm sure if customers were to take this one out and come back with some of the same accidents, we could probably get away with placing inserts in these, maybe an arm, because the arm broke instead of this whole front piece and the arm, because usually the arm's breaking on that tire, in the post or whatever they're hitting. It's causing it to break. So, all right, looking at this again, this brace, I'm telling you, the brace is going to be a big difference. It's actually connected to this front and rear tower brace now as well, so this looks like all one piece here. And you still got your wing support body post here. I'm saying wing support, I'm sorry, tower support body post. That could take two more up here, so you've got so much extra protection on this rear tower with this extra brace now coming right up to it. So, and the wing still feels the same. I wish they still had the breakaway style of these. You know, typically we still break wings, still can break this. The the wing mount usually holds up very well. It's usually this or the wing that breaks off, which the breakaway shims they used to sell for these would eliminate that. I would have the wing shoot off and then just be able to put a couple more shims on. But not a fan of this style, but they've changed to this for a while, so I'm not going to fault them on this truck over that. Mud guards are fine. I guess people like them. You know, I personally am not a big fan of them. I do like them, adding a little bit of style, color, look. They do give a little more protection. They do keep it a little more clean, but you know, when you do try to clean your trucks often, they get in the way. So like if I want to get back here and try to clean this arm or my upper arm or wipe the shaft off and get it, you know, freshened up a little bit, they're just in the way. But the two screws are off, so I'm not going to, you know, harp on that either. And it's something that they're adding to you for nothing. So, well, not for nothing, but for part of the package. It's technically for nothing because the money's elsewhere with the CNC gears in the front and rear that we're not even exposing and seeing. CNC spur, Swiss stiff cups. So this thing has definitely got a lot more money into it. If we did a breakdown on value over this, which we'll get to in a minute, when I get all three trucks out side by side, you'll see that the money is definitely in this truck and definitely fits the price point. I can see these are different. Is it just a cover? Yeah, it's just a cover. I guess the purpose of this is to protect the metal aluminum shock cap, maybe? I don't know. But they're these little weird covers that go over top of the shocks that are definitely not part of the shock. So have to look into that a little bit more. Seems like the front skids are all the same. Towers are upgraded, not the 775 like the XTR, but they're definitely upgraded over the stock ones, which I never had any problem with that either way. I heard the shock bottoms are upgraded on these. I did break a shock once on the original Kronos, not my XTR. Ooh, feels pretty good out the box too. Look at that. It's got a good setup. Nice. I do like the oils they chose. I don't think I'd have to change that at all. out the box. And I say that, I'm probably not keeping this car because I do have the XTR. So mine is a little bit more upgraded. I do like the tower-to-tower brace better on this, but there are some things on this that I, don't have. Like, again, I don't know exactly the purpose of this. I do know the purpose of this. I don't have this. The double Ackerman steering design is an upgrade over mine. What else? It's got a place for like its own button holder and all. No big deal there, but that is still nice that it's nice and secure. I think mine's good on mine, but the Kronos, I think I had issues with that breaking off. This battery tray supposedly says V2. The only thing I can guess they did was maybe make it wider. Maybe it doesn't look any wider. We'll look at that side by side. It doesn't look very different at all, unless it was already a V2 on the XTR. So that's probably why I'm not seeing anything. But that's it. Just by looking at it, guys. I already know the upgrades are on it. But that's as far as seeing them and talking value to see if this is worth it buying over the Kronos, or is it better to go get an XTR and get a little bit more of an upgrade for this? We'll talk about all that real quick. But let me get these trucks out side by side, and we'll go from there. I do want to take a look also real quick, since we are kind of doing an unboxing. They do give you the manual and all that stuff. They do give you a strap for your remote control now as well, like a neck strap. And then this is the new remote, which I am eager to take a look at. I had no problem with the original one. I actually liked it, still use it. And just curious what all is different, if anything, with this one. So this is the old one, and this is the new one. So right out the gate, I'm going to say, I like the hand grip. I love this rubber feel right here on my hand. Other than that, this is just a hard plastic. Wheel feels smoother on this. If you can hear that. How it sounds kind of springy in there. So this does have a much better wheel feel. I kind of like the trigger better, but again, feels like there's more trigger range versus this one. I don't know. It's hard to judge that right now. Definitely better steering wheel. I'll give them that. And all the trims. This is almost like a Fly Sky GT2. Basically, it's just got all the trims there, digital. This one, analog. And this one's got the digital trims and things. Some people didn't like that because you didn't understand the center points and things like that, which I never really had an issue with that. I don't know, this is from my Mammoth. I'm going to go find my XTR one real quick. I don't remember being so loud. My kids played with this truck, so who knows, maybe they did something to it. All right, so here's mine from the XTR. It does have the end point that has that springy sound, but this is much more smooth than that other one. The other one felt like it was dragging, like maybe they got a stone or something behind there. So with this being the way this feels, I like this remote better myself. I'm just gonna, without even firing it up, I think this one's got a better range or something maybe on it, although I never had range issues. Don't have that after springy sound to it, but again, just want to kind of look at them and give people a chance to know the differences. Personally, I don't know, man. It's not going to bother me either way, but I would keep this. Like, I'm going to keep my XTR one and not upgrade it, even though I have upgrades. This one is still good for a ready-to-run remote. I'm not going to knock it because I haven't tried it yet. So, all right, that's enough of the remote. Wasted enough time. Let's get to the trucks. All right, so here's all three of them. And just sitting them out, it looks like there might be a few slight differences in the way the wheels are set up, maybe. The camber looks like these, this is a stock one here, Kronos. Looks like they have the back wheels on that one fairly straight. These ones are V'd in a little bit more, which I get. V'd in the back, bowed out in the front is more of a straight speed. Or I mean, straight line, not speed, but helps for speed, I guess. And then of course the XTR, different tires on these right now, but they're towed in a little bit as well, which is why the gap's so big between these two and not so much there, because this one looks more straight. So maybe they worked around with making these go a little straighter by tuning them up a little bit. Who knows? Like I said, it could be just a difference in boxes, but they are stock plastics on these that you can't adjust. So this would be how they would come out the box. So fronts all look V'd out about the same. It's just the rear I noticed when I had them up here like that. So here we go. I've got my XTR, which I did up like a Punisher. This is the Kagama, and then this is the stock Kronos. So we're going to get the tops off of these real quick, and we'll see what the biggest difference is. Alright, so what I would like to do here is kind of just go over some of the quick differences that you can see visually. And then we'll talk value comparison between the three. But let's see real quick. Here we are, Kagama. So I wanted to test that suspension real quick. It's got a nice, like, suction-y feeling. This is a stock Kronos. Like I can, let's see, just with my middle finger I can push it all the way down. This one, I still don't bottom, and that's like, I mean, I can push it down, but like it really hurts to do that. So the suspension on this feels a lot better. This one I can just take straight down. It does come back up all right, but still not anywhere near this. And I think the suspension, you can tell, has a little more of an A-frame as well. And can't really say it's the shock positioning. Maybe the shock tower being a little bit different. This is a little taller looking shock tower than the stock ones. But so real quick value comparison as we're going over, just not really dollar for dollar what we're looking at. This is a $449 truck. This is a $620 truck, and then this is a $480 roller. So of course, prices vary depending on where you're at or sales, things like that. In store, I can offer different prices than, of course, I can online. So those are the prices we've got to go off of. So with that being said, you're already getting a better suspension here. Now mine's set up. Mine's like the Kagama. Mine's set up with a higher A-frame. Like that, compared to the more flat suspension. Some people might want a flat suspension, but if you're using it as a basher, these two are set up better overall. No tower to tower on this version of the Kronos. Maybe we'll see one in the future, who knows, but it does have the bracing here on the front, and does have the bracing here with the stool, has the double body post mount suspension in the back. What you're seeing here is a whole new, looks like a whole new wing. Nope, the wing's the same. Okay, the wing mount. So this is the same wing mount. It actually seems like it sits up higher, because you can see here I can hide my finger down a little bit. This one's right to the top. So, and that's different on mine as well. So this is a new mounting, I guess, the way they did it with this bracing going to this tower. This new brace in general is what we're looking at here. So this new brace goes right up to here. The old brace went right to here, which actually attached to this top piece here, not the actual tower. So this is definitely going to give you a better tower to tower support. And then of course in the front you can see on the XTR, if you upgrade it, will attach here. Now I do believe you can put this on the other truck, but you would have to do a couple of these other things, like these bracings, maybe the towers. I'll get some more information on that, but right now the Kagama brace is definitely different and would not work or mount right up, as you can see with all of these. The XTR has actually got a gap there that would be right where that's at, so it is possible, but I'll have to get some clarification on that. But I can definitely tell you that you're removing this stuff, at least this brace, because this one's now replaced with its own built-in brace. And as you can see, this one's got the aluminum. So this is why I won't be upgrading mine. Mine's already got the aluminum here, Swiss diffs, all the kind of upgrades. The arm differences, now that I'm thinking about that, let's take a better look. You can see right here, this arm kind of goes up. So it's definitely got some more thickness to it. And this one is just more of a flat. Again, I had no issues with the arms. I'm not gonna hold anybody on that, because the arms were way better than what was on the Kraton, which I broke every single one and had to go RPM for. So the arms are definitely better, but these little plastic pieces here are just washers, or not plastic. Pieces on the end of the plastic arms are washers. This is actually like an insert, and you can see the thickness on this upper arm too here versus where this kind of goes and contours down. This one's got the open kind of web design there, and this one has, I think, a little bit of that under there, but you take this off or you fill it in with this and it stiffens it up. So again, just a little additive thing that they used to do with some of their inserts, like they did there with the carbon fiber ones, which I don't know how much they protect or how much they really stiffen, but you know, they fill in and have carbon fiber look. Another thing we can see is kind of where I was talking about with the height there on this pad, kind of supporting the bodies a little bit better. You can see if I try to keep the same height back here, you probably be able to see better. It's definitely higher, so it's got a purpose. Don't see any reason why this piece of foam couldn't be bought and put on one of these though, and I would probably recommend it for anybody running the stock bodies, because it's definitely going to support it better. I put my Punisher body on there and it fits right up against that too. So, you know, I like the design. Yep. The Punisher body on it's right there too, right where it needs to be at. So, and I imagine that's the same with the Kronos. All right, and again, yeah, these are just caps. Towers are definitely different. These are just a basic 6061 tower. A lot of opening here. Could create some flex, I guess, if people are really like launching these things and skate parks and stuff like that. This one's got more of a solid here, but it's also the back support of that new tower to tower brace. Whereas even mine is still open here, better material, but the tower to tower brace again is picking up in the back of that. So again, it's, you know, it's something that probably wouldn't bother most people. Some people, the average driver, I would say, probably would never have an issue with any of these as far as the towers go. But of course, your extreme bashing people are going to be sending them off skate parks, high ramps, high vertical launches, things like that. Definitely going to notice a little bit. These tires, I thought were the same. I mean, they definitely, rim-wise, are different. Like that rim looks like that, and this one's got more like a Nietzsche or maybe VVS style look. Both soft. These do great off-road anyways, but of course I went belted Jetco tires, so mine don't balloon, and I have control if I want to ride on asphalt or in thicker grass without the car getting completely out of control, because my original Kronos was, you know, very difficult to hit 70 miles an hour. 68 I think is the highest I got on it, and it kept wanting to wheelie up on that last little punch to get that last little bit. So all right, so let's go real quick, guys. I kind of covered everything in the beginning about what was different than the other ones and what the upgrades were, but let's talk about the value pricing on those upgrades. All right, so with the Kronos coming in at $449 retail price, It's $100 cheaper than where the Armor Creighton is. So for that $100 difference, what I always tell people is that $100 right there from my own experience, things I've done with my own Creighton, things I've done with my own Kronos, that the value difference is in a $50 tower-to-tower brace. You put that $50 tower-to-tower brace on here, and in my opinion, this is a better truck than the Creighton out the box. You're faster. You've got a bigger, higher amped ESC, so you're going to get that high speed without needing a quote-unquote speed pinion that, you know, can blow your ESC if you run it off-road, which this is an off-road vehicle, so it's just silly to, you know, make people want to switch back opinion when they're, oh, hey, you know what, I'm going to go over to that field, guys. I know I was just driving it in the grass. Let me go over to this field. Oops, I have my speed pinion in. I hope I don't burn anything up. So again, it's stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. This here is a regular sized servo. For some reason, the Creighton one needs that hot racing mount to be able to put like a monster torque or something like that. I can drop one right in here with no issue. So another kind of a bonus, you know, not spending extra money if you're looking to upgrade and stuff. What else was, oh, the arms, like I said, have held up better. And that's, you know, that's pretty much it. And the tower-to-tower brace in the back, you know, again, this extra brace is here. Whereas I think even with the Arma, it mounts. And I have a Creighton here. I'll do that comparison another day to the Kagama. Since we're, you know, really close for a little bit more money, we'll do that comparison here later. But right now, we're talking about these three, so I'm not going to get into that too much. I just want to kind of give you the base point of where we're at. Where this sits at in the market is $100 cheaper than where the Creighton is. So knowing that, and this is what you get for that price, the next one up here, $619, we're looking at $170 more. So with $170, the Swiss diffs, if you were to put these diffs here, just the cups, we're not even talking about the CNC gearing difference or anything yet. If you're talking about just the cups, you're looking at roughly $21 a pair. So you've got one pair, two pair, three pair in the back, and then the center four pair. So you're about $100 in CNC Swiss diff drive cups. And that's very close to if you go out and look at any of the Creighton ones and things like that, that you would be upgrading. And again, I'm getting back to the Creighton because I'm still talking about what's different over this one. And I'm getting my mind on the Creighton. But either way, but other companies, Creightons and things like that, people, you know, you would want to upgrade them, and they cost just as much, if not more, for some of the diff upgrades that are on that. So the CNC gears in the front and rear, those are about $50 each. The spur gear, I think, is another $40 each, or $40. There's only one. So, you know, that's another $100 and some in gears. So we're already now just with the gears from somebody that would go out and buy this or go buy a Creighton and then say, hey, well, my drive cup's where I'm going to put this stuff on it. This has already got it. We're already here for that money. And then on top of that, you've got the upgraded knuckles, which aren't going to pull out here. These ones here can pull out. This is also almost a little bit more of a square, whereas this is a little bit more of an oval or more of like a rectangle. So it's harder to see unless you have the piece off. But again, just take my word for it. It's a beefier hub. So the end points, the arms, completely upgraded. The front hinge piece. This is a piece of plastic with that piece of 6061 inside. The XTR has the plastic with the piece of 775 inside. And then this one is a much thicker piece that replaces the plastic and the aluminum and gives you the plastic inserts. So again, another upgrade, another plus. Most of my people that come in have to upgrade this after they wreck it in the front because that 6061 piece will just flex and bend and the hinge pin opens up too much. Tower-to-tower brace, that's $50 savings right there. Not to mention this one's a little bit beefier. Probably more of a $70 brace if they're selling it separate. The upgraded towers on these being a little bit beefier. Can't put really a value on that. This one comes with towers. We don't even have to count it as value because we're already overvalued. The excess money is already accounted for. So you've got your guards here, which some people pay, you know, up to $15-20 to get them put on, whether they've been the RPM ones or aftermarket ones. The bucket tray, everything is the same with that except for the upgraded chassis. Again, this one comes with a chassis. I can't speak on these two chassis. I can on this one, but not this chassis because I haven't seen it run yet, and I haven't had any issues technically with this chassis yet. Have seen some people bend them, but we're also talking about extreme bashing people that, you know, hit something full speed or half speed and can do some damage. So that we can't really compare until we start seeing some more of these. So just from these two alone, the $170 is in the gears alone. And then on top of that, you get the arms, the knuckle upgrades, the shock cap upgrades, the better towers, the better chassis, the tower-to-tower brace. What else was it? Oh, well, these gears. Money left over from the gears because you would have spent more on those in the diff cups. So, I mean, the value is definitely here for the Kagama guys if you're looking at this. Now, if you're just going to go out and you don't want to do a lot of bashing, you just want to go tear up in a field, save the money, grab yourself a regular one. Who knows, we might see a revision on this where they put it up to a $500 price tag and maybe give us a couple things like the brace, the tower-to-tower brace, at least, hopefully, maybe even at least the old tower-to-tower brace. That would be nice. But either way, we'll see what they do with this one in the future. But as of right now, if you just want to go out and have fun in a field and, you know, want some speed out of your truck, save the money and get this one. But if you plan on putting upgrades on your truck and you plan on launching it off of ramps and beating it up, then this is definitely going to be a much better truck and better bash protected for you. Now, is it worth going and building yourself the XTR to this? Now that we have to start looking at a couple different things. So at that, we have the 775 chassis. It's definitely better material, better made. 775 front and rear towers. I know that those are going to hold up better. This already has the upgraded knuckles on it. Never really had an issue with the arms, although I do like this piece, even as stock, better than this probably thin plate is, because again, it's a very thin plate. It's not a beefy piece. So any damage to the front end, again, it might break the hinge pin. Hopefully that 775 is strong enough to do that, but then you're replacing a hinge pin. You're still replacing something. This here, I feel the insert might actually take some of the impact, protect the hinge pin while still protecting the arm and allowing it to move a little bit without just totally destroying anything up there. But we'll see. As, you know, more and more of them come back broken, we'll see what's breaking. Again, in mine, I did do the upgraded servo, but other than that, I put my stock electronics for my Kronos V1 in because I had no issues with these electronics whatsoever. 70 miles an hour was always going to be plenty enough for me on this platform. These links are technically upgrades. That is one other thing I forgot to mention on this because they are different. These links have a different part number, and these are apparently a beefier link. They look similar, but these have a different part number and they have an HD next to them, so that means they're heavy duty. They do have maybe a millimeter thicker feel to them, so I just wanted to cover that first because I did forget. But these ones have the metal links, which are adjustable for if you want to adjust your camber or your toe or anything along that line, you can do. Now, this also creates more of a weak point, though, at this plastic to metal connection, depending on how far these go in, which I believe is about right there on these ones. So I haven't had a ton of issue with these, but I have not ramp launched this thing just yet. It has been out. It has ran a few times as far as bashing and skidding. Never ran the stock body on it, which is why it's all fresh still on the body. But she has taken some scuffs and things by being on the roof. Mostly just kind of running on asphalt with this so far. You know, I will get back to bashing with it, and will give me more time to tell. But I was originally running the stock ones when I was bashing, and I had no issues with them. We did break one, but that was also when it took the whole front end off. Didn't break the arm, but I did break that 6061 piece right there at the hinge, and then I think the steering link snapped in the back. So again, that's, you know, something that it's hard to say if it's a better upgrade or not. These do give you adjustments for the people that don't want adjusted, but this truck is set up out the box the way it needs to be, both of these. So Sometimes for some people, no adjustments already better, because I have people sometimes that come in and they've adjusted their arms and things and they've got their wheels perfectly straight and they're having a hard time getting their car to drive straight without trimming it all the time. And some people don't realize that that V out in the front that is there to help that. So, again, the novice user would probably prefer the plastic links, but that is one of the upgrades that's available there. But this truck, for what it is, I mean, $479. Let's say if you got a combo for, I think Jenny sells it and I sell them for about $130, $140 as a takeoff for the combo of this. I usually throw in the servo for mine for that price. So let's just say you're buying it from me, $140. I'm going to throw those electronics in. $30, I'm going to throw you the stock remote control receiver in. So you're at $170 on top of a $479 XTR. So that makes it about $650-ish, roughly. So at $650, you're now about $30 more expensive running this one stock out the box. Now the Kronos does come with two bodies. It comes with the clear and it comes with the orange in the XTR. So, for that much more money, the body alone is worth that little bit of difference, not to mention that you do get a tower-to-tower brace, you do get the 775 towers, you do get the 775 chassis, and you still get all the same upgrades that are on the drivetrain and the hubs, just not the upgraded arms, the new tower-to-tower brace, the little shock caps, and the hinge pin upgrades, which, as a basher, that's probably a better value. All right, so let's say that I'm going to get rid of my XTR. I'm not. Let's say if I was, though, and I didn't have this, or if I just didn't have it. So I didn't have this in my collection, and maybe I was on the hook of buying one of these two. I myself am going to go with this one because I know that I'm going to be launching, I'm going to be bashing it. I've seen videos of these hubs and things. I've talked to people. I know these hubs are going to pull out. It's happened to me. Not a big deal. You can pop them back in as long as it doesn't break the piece on the way out. I'm going to look at those, the beefiness of the arm, the suspension difference slap there. Oh, I did get it to touch at a time. I mean, if I really slam it, I can get it. But I'm going to look at this car and say, this is probably where I want to be at. Now, again, this is retail prices. I'm talking holiday sale times or something like that. If you could pick this truck up for about $550 at the same price a stock Creighton's going for, oh my God. There's no way in the world anybody's going to tell you that a Creighton is better than this out the box. It won't happen. If they are, it's because they haven't tested it, they haven't driven it, they haven't seen them side by side, and they don't understand what's on this truck. That's the only people that would do that. So as far as that goes, this instantly becomes a must-buy at a $550 price tag. If like a holiday, Black Friday, hopefully somewhere around that time frame. Whereas this one, roughly, I think the last holiday sale was $400. So for $400 to $550, that $150 now is not $170, and that value is even better. So hands down, this one, if you don't want to build it, you want something out of the box, is the way to go. If you have electronics already and maybe you have a 6S system laying around, get the XTR. XTR's got some better parts. The arms are not an issue, have not been an issue for me. These are changeable to this. If you do break an arm and you want to change them over later on, you can change them over to that and you'll still be probably a little less because you're saving that money from the $479 to the $630 or $620, and you're already putting your own electronics in. So you got to judge it for yourself, guys. If you're building it, you have electronics, get an XTR. If you don't and you want a basher, heavy basher, get the Kagama. If you just want to have fun for an inexpensive truck that doesn't cost you as much as an Armor Creighton will, or actually costs on sale less than what a Creighton 4S costs, get the Kronos or Jambo or something along that line. Corrali is doing a lot here, guys. They're definitely stepping up their game. They just came out with a new buggy as well. That looks like it's got all the beefed up arms and things on it as well, kind of like the Suga. So we'll be taking a look at that here in the future as well. But guys, I'm excited about Corrali, what they've been doing. It's a very popular company in my store because I have my trucks sitting here that we take out and I can show people ripping up. And the people that are buying it are just falling in love with this truck. Oh, I can see, here we go. Let me show this while I'm looking at it. Remember how I said I thought that was sitting up higher? It is. So it's the same tower to tower. It looks like they just make that, this tower comes up a little higher and the wing supports are mounted higher. So it is the same wing mount, which there was no issue with this. It was always right here. It was always with the wing breaking off. But that's a problem with all RC cars with wings and bashing. So, well, just one more thing. I do see these holes here. They do have the holes, looks like, on these original arms. Even though these arms are different, they don't have this hole here. It looks like these guards will bolt right up to anybody that has either one of these as well. But other than that, guys, I could sit here all day and try to find little tiny things that are different with these and talk about them, because I love the vehicle. I think it's a great truck, and can't wait to get this thing out on my floor and get people looking at it and talking about it in store. So, but again, guys, this video is getting a little long. We're over an hour now. I'll probably try to cut this down to a half an hour to 40 minutes. We'll see what I can do. Hopefully it's not too long, and I appreciate everybody that hung out and watched it. Thanks, guys.